just me, tuning in to hear these three chatting about fantasy, novels of the spicy variety. Not your average book club, if you know what I mean. Are you happy to see us? Or is that a dagger? It's Feast, Sheath, Shatter. It's Feast, Sheath, Shatter.
Okay, back to here we are. We're talking about Crown of Midnight.
Yeah.
And I
Hi,
think
I'm Rachel. Sorry.
This is Rachel.
This is the second one. So, hi, I'm Rachel.
This is Hannah.
And this is Kate.
Right. And we're doing the Superfan edition now.
We're going to open
Crown
it
of
up.
Midnight.
We're going to talk about the wider MJ, nope. The wider Sarah Maas, Sarah Janet Maas and her universe. And we're talking about Throne of Glass, the second book. Rachel loves it. It's her favorite book she's ever read. And it is also one of mine. And we're going to really talk about how this book shows up in the series. We definitely get, little peeks at characters that are going to be our favorites. We get Lysandra mentioned one time, and I think she says she walks into a party and she's like, I hope Lysandra's not there because I will really kill her if I saw her.
Yes.
Literally, that's what she says. Lysandra ends up being one of my favorite characters.
Yes.
She's amazing.
So cool.
We get Baba Yellowlegs, the exposition queen. She is our knowledgeable character, as we are all dummies. Mm-hmm. So she gets to tell us about the Vogue, which is a huge hint for our big bad. We get our introduction to witches.
Yes, which is huge.
Because you know who's coming. Manon. Make us say, oh, sorry.
It's a lot resting on her shoulders right now because you keep telling me she's going to save the series for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to read her and be like, meh.
You don't know.
You know what I couldn't get past with Manon? That's what she's going to do. I just really couldn't get past her love of scaled creatures.
Why would she choose the smallest wyvern? That is not real.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like Sarah J. Maas just threw that in there one day. She was shitting on the toilet.
I guarantee you that's where she comes up with half her ideas. She's like, oh, here we go today.
Sarah J. Maas news, by the way. We got the date for Crescent City 3. So this will be on Rachel after we do... Oh, I'm yelling. Sorry.
It's really exciting.
All right, let me go into my bedtime voice. My bedroom voice.
You can do this.
We got some news on the third installment of Crescent City coming out January 30th? The last week of January in 2024. So we are
less than 1 year away.
1 year away. And that means that once we finish our 16-week series of Throne of Glass.
Just in time.
Actually, does it?
I think it just about, it depends on how long it takes us to do all the Throne of Glass books.
Well, there's a couple books we have to do. We're going to pause and do the sequel to. You should read. Have you read, what's our book?
Serpent and the Wings of Night.
By
Carissa Broadbent.
Yes! Crushed it.
Have
you read that
first
yet?
Book?
Yes. Have you read it?
No.
It's
Fabulous.
Kindle Unlimited. Start it tonight. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
What about all the other books I'm reading right now?
No.
Put them down. Do not DNF
You know
them.
everything I got mad about Throne of Glass? Yeah, it doesn't do any of that stuff.
Oh.
It's really good.
And there's people
Hannah,
with men with
really
wings.
Good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need you to pause the other stuff and read it so that when the second one's popping out
Soon.
Okay.
So it's like a fantasy romance. Can she come? Can she come play that night?
That's fine.
Thanks,
you can come
Mom.
play. I saw you put podcaster on your Instagram. Who am I? And it was like, I'm a dog mom. I'm a podcaster.
Yeah, I'm a hobbyist podcaster.
Hobbycast.
I'm a hobbycast. Well, yeah, that makes you look like that. People will be like, what? And you're like, yeah, it's fine. There's a pod lab. My friend Rachel owns a pod lab.
It's fine.
My friend Rachel, the producer.
Don't give me too much credit. who really struggled with the first two books?
I'm not. keep really meditating, really manifesting that your podcast network blows up and I can just be a salaried employee for you at
Can
some
I just
point.
do that for a living, please?
Yes.
Please continue
well, I
to
have
manifest.
120 followers on Instagram now.
That's fucking
So,
wild.
Just gonna put that
It's
out there.
120% more than where
Those
you
last
started.
two were me and my mom.
Yeah.
I don't need to know
I think
that.
like 4 of them are friends of mine. It's fine.
That's okay. That's how you get followers.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
It's fine. Yeah.
I'm going to start going out into public just to get more followers, listeners.
I put some t-shirts up on TeePublic, but I just was like, you have to put a t-shirt up because I'm trying to make myself get merch up. So it's just the Strange and Beautiful logo.
And it's a really pretty logo.
No, I'm
getting one.
I want to get us some sweatshirts made. Maybe a scientific lab coat. That's more like
For the pod lab.
like terry cloth, more like a robe.
So more of a sweater, really.
Ooh.
than
Yeah, like
lab
a
coat.
sweater.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna.
Some
It's
throw blankets.
it's a lab coat.
But a
It's
really
made out of
comfy one.
silk with a wrap around a kimono.
but it'll have a pocket protector.
oh,
Oh, that makes it a lab coat.
It does.
Yeah, just a fancy
lab coat, but down.
yeah, yeah.
It's a down lab coat. Oh wait, what do they call sweaters in England? Jumpers.
Jumpers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get us some jumpers.
Jumper.
A jumper.
That'd be good.
Oh, I was saying. Oh, never mind. So we've got another book coming out. So we'll read Crescent City towards the end of the year. We got to give Rachel some breaks. Let Rachel pick some books.
Yeah, she'll need a mass break.
She'll need a big mass break. Because I think that once we get, Kingdom of Ash, which is our final, it does a lot. It does a lot like Wings and Ruin does a lot.
I would expect it to.
It does a lot.
Yeah.
And,
She's like, it better.
Well, if A Court of Thorns and Roses is any indication, the last book will all be like a series of endings that you thought was the end, but you thought.
That's why when we get to the first Crescent City,
See, each Crescent City book is like that. Like there's a huge explosion in every single book. Like it is
so Wings of Ruin has 16 endings. No. 8 endings. Crescent City has 16 endings. Like it is like one long adventure.
huge reveal after huge
Reveal
reveal.
after huge reveal. Which I love. I love it. My favorite part of any Sarah J. Maas book is at the end of the first Crescent City. La Habba forever. La Habba. La Habba. This is my girl. I just started a new TikTok. I haven't done anything, but it's called La Habba's Library.
Aww.
And it'll be a Maas verse. But I got to come up with my own content, which is really hard because there's a lot of really talented and creative people out there. And
You just do your own thing.
But I get caught. But I can't be a trendsetter like you.
I just...
If
I
the
get
internet has taught me anything, it is that I am not original.
Yeah, me too.
Everything that I think of,
Someone else
already
thought of.
been thought of 100 times before. And
relax and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So here we are, Crown of Midnight. Hey, why is the book called Crown of Midnight?
Don't look at me.
I don't know either. I don't know either, and I literally bought
Because there's no crown.
a subscription to a like Spark Notes.
I love the the small pause of shame and then look down like
I think so. She does stuff at midnight.
no.
she's like the dark queen. She's like the king's
We
champion.
find out.
or crown of darkness or whatever.
Yeah, but like, where the fuck midnight though? Like that's what I mean. Like, where is the midnight?
Well, there's a fantasy novel title
Genre.
convention. There's
Thing.
a titling convention.
Yeah.
and you have to have
Blood or ash in it.
or crown or
court.
or
A
throne.
blank of blank and blank.
Flower name. A court of thorns and lilies.
A place, a castle of wings and fire.
Yeah, you also have to have the swirly letters that are hard to read so that you can't remember the book title. So it could
just be, from the generator, she pushed the the title generator button.
And it was like Crown of...
It was like... Blue, doo, doo, doo.
Midnight. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So who's your favorite character in this book?
Dorian.
Mort. Obviously.
I think mine is Baba Yellowlegs, our queen of exposition. Not for that reason, just because of what she's what's scary, but what she represents and what's coming.
Yes,
and like zooming out and then zooming in. I also every chapter that she's in. The amount of information you get is like you want to go back and read it because you're like, oh, this is where we learn about witches. This is where we learn about the Vogue. Like so many of these concepts that are going to be like the entire book, we get in this book. We got mention of Adian Ash River one time when Dorian's like, I met Aelin once when I was a little kid, and his bitch ass cousin Adian, who we get one mention of being the king's general. Yeah. And at no point does Selena ever say, oh, the leader of your armies for the king that I also work for is my cousin.
Right.
So, like, that's one of those moments
but she knows.
I mean, she knows.
We know now that she knew.
Yeah.
But she's not going to talk about it.
Yeah. She keeps her secrets. Maybe that's what it means by Crown of Midnight.
Ooh. Cloaked in darkness.
Cloaked in darkness.
Maybe. Yep. She certainly either doesn't know yet because Sarah J. Maas doesn't know yet. Or
yeah, maybe not. But she obviously knows that. I mean, she straight up says, I was so surprised by that. We get one mention in the entire book of this character that is going to be huge at another point, and it's her cousin, and we know that he's the general of the king. And we haven't said that at all. But
also, we have another 19-year-old in a huge power position.
Adian's only 19. I think he's older.
He's only a couple years older than...
He's got to be like 23. We can't go by...
I know.
We can't go by our modern rules about age. We have to go by...
Naive or not naive, then?
Titch rules.
Yeah.
We got to go by Titch rules. So let me explain to you what the Titch rule is.
Okay.
Titch is the sweetest little boy character in the movie Krull. And he's like 8. He's like y'all's kid's age. You know what his job is? He's literally the caretaker from an old man that's almost in hospice. That's his job.
Okay.
He's never even held a puppy. So he's like an 8-year-old, but he has like the heart and the like wisdom of a grown man. He grew up harsh. What do you call it?
Very sad.
Battle-hardened?
Battle-hardened.
He's battle-hardened.
Okay.
So that's what we use the Titch rule.
Okay.
For their ages.
I will not address it again. Did you guys get it? Take notes because I'm not repeating myself.
No, we'll talk about the Titch rule again, but I'm just saying, like, in these medieval fantasy where they live for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Right. Yeah. Then 19's even younger.
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
It popped into my head.
I know. So well, I saw a TikTok the other day. It was really funny. This girl, her whole point was like, she's really turned off when the male lead is, the Morley Gray character is like 500 years older, except for our bat boys. Y'all are okay. You guys, you suck, but you guys, you're great. You're fine.
It's because they still seem young.
Yeah, they act young.
Yeah.
Because it takes a really long time when you're Illyrian to grow the fuck up. But yeah, so this book is slow. It is slow.
Yeah.
It's right before Air Fire, which is when things really get kicked off. We have now gone through 3 love interests. We've had 3 people that we know Aelin has had a relationship with.
She gets around.
I mean...
But she's only been with Kale.
She was with Sam.
Well, she was not physically with Sam.
Her and Sam never consummated.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Positive.
Because we made a big deal about how that was her first time with Kale.
Yep. Kale was her first time.
Oh, interesting.
They talk about her being a virgin.
Yep.
And then she says all she ever did with Sam is kiss.
It's butt stuff.
Anal only.
I'm pretty sure butt stuff didn't come up, but it's fine. It's canonical now.
I meant hand stuff, but butt stuff's okay. Sorry. Yeah, so it doesn't count if it's butt stuff. Do you remember people in high school saying that? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think that's a real rule. Like, all sex is sex.
But
So
then also, I remember in college, my roommate asking me if you could get pregnant from anal.
yes, you
Sounds
told her
like-
yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Sounds like they had sex ed in the South.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
Ooh, that's funny. So we do get a little bit of forced proximity relationship in this. Like, her and Kale would never have made it if they weren't, like, forced to be together.
Yeah.
So I like that they develop this. I think this is also, like, when you are around somebody and you like them and you respect them. So you're like, oh, it has to be like this. Mm-hmm. Then you try it out. And they were attracted to each other. I think Kale definitely fell a little bit harder for Selena.
Yeah.
She was really, like, that mistake that he made, it didn't seem unforgivable to me.
No, especially since she has kept secret from him the fact that if she doesn't do her job, he's going to get fucking killed by the king.
Yeah.
And she has not at any point told him that.
Yeah, or that the king used him as a ransom, as an ultimatum.
Which to me feels pretty much similar.
But she's also lying about who she actually is as a human being, or she's not a human being.
But this
like
affects his life. Like,
I know.
he could die, and then he sends her off to that other kingdom. And if she doesn't follow through on what she says she's going to do, he's going to die.
Yeah, and that was like a circumstantial rage fit, though. That wasn't necessarily about Kale. If that had come up at another moment, she would not have lost her shit. It was her losing another person in her life that she cared about on that level. Her only friend. And I think that Nehemia knew exactly who she was.
Oh, yeah.
But don't we think that Selena told her who she was, too?
No.
In the first book, she said she told her everything.
No.
No, not everything, but Nehemia knew. She knew. I mean, she knew. She saw the mark, She saw the mark on her head in the first book.
She had talked about it with Helena, must have.
I felt like I had a mark on my forehead for a second. I got so confused.
Am
I was
I
like,
Aelin?
Wait, is she nameless?
Aelin?
Yeah, she's nameless.
Yeah.
I've got the bastard mark.
Yeah, nameless. Remember when Baba was like, nameless is my price?
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna eat you, bitch, with my iron teeth.
I was like,
I'm gonna suck on your gristle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna brew you up in this cauldron. Let's I'm gonna wear my
version.
wear my crown of stars, and I'm gonna suck your bones dry.
Let's rewrite the two books. Let's us
combine
three
them.
make them into one, and rewrite it our
And
own way.
sell it as a fanfic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't feel dumb if you put them together. They feel dumb because she had to make it so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it, Sarah. I'm cool with it.
I don't think they're dumb characters.
I'm cool with it, Sarah.
Are you?
You said they needed to be one book. Like, this book is such a first chapter.
It is. And it just goes so much farther along. It just moves farther along.
She was just
We
finding
got
her feet.
6 more. So do you guys think that Kale is dumb, stubborn to the point of stupidity?
Yes.
No, I think he's just naive.
Oh,
You hear my tummy?
No.
It's the beans and the nerd clusters.
I thought it was your cord again.
No,
Oh, no.
not this time.
Okay.
But I think he's just naive
He's very naive.
He's loyal.
and loyal.
And his loyalty to the king is really what, like, he is stupidly.
He's having to face the fact that
Thank you.
he's the bad
Stupider.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard to face the fact that you chose wrong, especially when you gave up your entire life to choose that.
Yep.
Especially
Yeah.
when you
believe
want
in
to
something.
be right. You
And
want to be good.
And Dorian is good. And so he's on the right team. Dorian is a good dude. How about when Dorian's powers show up?
That's fun.
Like how Nehemia definitely did that. She like drew a symbol on his chest. And she was like, so when that cooks,
So when something happens
when that dings
later,
and the timer's done, you come find me. And we'll go through this together. Oh, but I am on a time schedule because I'm going to be dying here.
I'm going to martyr myself.
Yeah, I know that I'm going
3
out.
days.
Wait, she wrote something on his body?
Yes,
yeah,
at
she
the
did.
ball.
He's talking to her, and she's just chatting with him and just like tracing symbols in the air in front of him, and then she touches his chest and draws a symbol on his chest.
She released his magic?
Yeah, and
shit, y'all. I am so sorry. I completely missed that. That wasn't in my summary. That wasn't in my... I told y'all I subscribed to a summary, like a Sparks note, so that if I need to reread through stuff, I can do it quickly. It's fine. I've read these books before.
Yeah. Yeah, because right after that, he goes...
Or you want me to sit in my car for another 2 hours? Finish? It's either that or read the Sparks note.
No,
right,
Sparks
chair
note
is
fine.
very soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's great for stimming.
Right after she draws the symbol, that's when he says he feels like something inside of him wakes up.
Oh, holy... Yeah, so we get a little bit of hints from Assassin's Blade. We hear her talk about Casita, her horse.
Yeah.
Which we will get to meet again.
Little house.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Oh.
Love that. We get to, let's see.
Yeah. We get an uprising at Calaculla.
Yeah, we do.
Finally.
Which is one of the best parts. To see the impact that Nehemia had on her people and how they're going to freak out when she dies.
Is Duke Parrington raping Caltaine? Is that what is
implied?
Yeah,
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, wow, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah. I mean, you've also got Archer Finn, who is a male escort and gets auctioned off frequently.
Yeah.
And she does that a lot, and she doesn't discriminate on gender identity and who gets, this is a way that people get used and subjected to abuse.
Yeah.
But I think that Otterlon, is that it?
Otterlin.
The king, we don't get much of the king this time. He shows up a little bit at the end.
Yeah,
and
very
he's
at the
surprised.
very end.
He's also a dummy.
Yeah.
Nobody knows Selena is hiding it all from everyone. So where do you think it's going, Rachel?
Well, we're going on a boat.
Yep.
To somewhere else.
Where they have magic.
And I was just so happy to be done. I don't remember where we're going, but I'm excited to go there.
God. We're out of Rifthold.
Yeah. So she's headed to another continent, and they have magic there.
Right. And the Fae still live there.
Yeah,
they,
the
rule
Queen
the country.
Maeve. Maeve lives there.
And they're problematic. They're resisting efforts to be taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did get it is really, we do get a better look. I like wow, Kate. Jesus. Okay. Hold on.
I like how they said the borders are closed to everyone but women and children.
Yep.
So if a whole family shows up at the border, sorry, dude, can't come in.
Yeah.
Gotta leave your dad at the door.
Dad stays.
What if only a dad shows up with children?
Well,
do you take the children and leave the dad behind?
Are now orphans. Some bullshit.
I think they can just turn around and go back where they came from.
They're refugees.
Well,
sometimes refugees have to go back where they came from. Yeah.
We get she starts to deviate in this story more that Selena isn't our only focus and our point of view start to be a little bit stronger. I think that we get a better glimpse of Dorian as he starts to grow.
Yes, we
especially
got a lot more Dorian.
When he splits off and he's let her go and we start to realize, oh, Dorian is going to be a major player. He's also magical. He also has this, we can also see him being this like incredibly powerful, like what even is he? He doesn't even know.
Right.
And then Chaol, and they're all split up in the next book. So we're going to still get their perspectives. And this is where I think she decides that the story can't just be about Selena. And that it really, I think that Sarah J. Maas does a really good job of having teams of people and courts of people. And that for us to be,
she's building Aylin's court now.
Yeah.
And developing each of those players. So when they all come together, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And you really love them.
Yeah.
They're going to be all coupled up too, which is really lovely.
That's what she
It's
always
like
does.
The Cullens.
Yeah. Yeah, they couple up like the Cullens.
She likes to couple.
Yeah, she does like to couple.
Yeah, fated mates and...
Yeah. We've also got a lot of magical objects. Like, magic really blooms in this book.
Mm-hmm.
One, we get an idea of how the magic works. Everything is word-based.
Word.
Yes.
Everything's word-based, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we get word keys,
Got
word
keys,
gates, word marks,
rings.
and
Enchantments.
And we get this explanation of where it came from. There's these 3 princes that opened a portal and came into this world. We get all this talk about other realms, about universes sitting on top of other universes.
Which Selena was like, I don't get it. What?
That's okay. She doesn't have to.
Mort was like, you could be standing at the bottom of the ocean in another universe right now. And she's like, but I'm not standing at the bottom of the ocean. I don't get
I
it.
don't know if she said that. Though.
Yes, she does. Go back and we'll listen to it.
Okay, I'm going to pull that one
because
up.
I swear to God, you made that up in your head.
Yeah, I don't think that's what
Mort
happened.
is trying to explain it to her, and she's like, this is some bullshit. You're making all this up.
Well,
I don't get it.
Potentially.
You arbiter of truth doorknob who has no reason to lie to me.
You,
Well,
New
and
Jersey Mortimer.
Yeah, and basically she builds on the multiverse
Yep.
to such an extent that now we're in Crescent City and may still be, you know.
We're in Crescent City. We're in Prithian.
We're everywhere.
in, what's it called? Aurelia. All at one time. Aelin, Bryce, and Farah and Nesta, and maybe Elaine if she's feeling good that day.
Whatever.
They're all
Elaine is
sitting
too
in the
busy,
same
like,
room at the same
pottering
time,
around.
being besties.
Well, Elaine will just she'll bring him flowers.
You know, Elaine's gonna be the best. The next book, if it's an Elaine POV, we're gonna love her.
I'm
If it's
going
not
to
an
fall
e-
asleep
So,
if it's at Elaine.
Can we talk about a little bit of a thing that is a TikTok?
Yeah.
Like it's an ACOTAR discourse, but
Yes.
I know about it from paying attention on TikTok. Is that people think that Farah was from Farah's perspective and Nesta's perspective, that Farah was an unreliable narrator, and they don't leave a lot of room for the fact that Farah's idea of Reese and Nesta's idea of Reese can be true at the exact same time.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that Reese is a bad guy. It doesn't mean that he's evil. It just means
they are
that
both true.
People
They're
see people differently.
Yeah. And so there's this huge discussion about Farah, blah, blah, blah. She couldn't see Reese and Nesta actually did. No, it's just they're different perspectives. Like, that's just life.
It's because Reese is a very unflawed character. She tries to make him flawed, but it's like, he's just so powerful and he's too pretty.
Yeah.
That's his flaw.
And he always makes good decisions.
Right.
And he's a
He always
master.
makes,
He's actually a master manipulator
Right.
and really strategic and really smart.
But those
his
characters,
special set of skills is
always-
that he doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Except for,
but
he
they
does.
always get kickback, right? Because
Yeah.
nobody wants that character. So Nesta sees him as flawed. Which, if you want him to be flawed, then Nesta's
But
the point of view you're
Nesta's
going to
flawed
go
as
from.
fuck and projects her flaws on everyone.
Right.
Which is why Reese is a douchebag in that
But
book.
if you are the type of viewer or media consumer who doesn't like the perfect male archetype, the Rhysand character, the most handsome High Lord, the best High Lord, the flawless High
Who
Lord,
doesn't like that?
there are people, I'm not saying they are in this room, who like,
doesn't like it?
Well, he's not my dude.
right, but they don't want they want a morally gray character. He's not morally gray. Nesta sees him as more gray. She sees him as making decisions that she
And she
doesn't
sees him
support.
as controlling because she lives off his dime and he doesn't want to foot her $500 champagne bill every night.
Right.
$500. Sorry, $500 gold piece.
So, but a perspective exists where that you want that to be more
Rainbow Road
true.
currency.
Yeah.
500 gold coin.
The Valerian currency is not the dollar. Excuse me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
500
totally.
pounds.
But that's people, and I want to learn more about the evil Reese.
I do not. I do not want to learn more about that.
He is, because people are freaking out. So the next book in Crescent City is called House of, like each one of her books in the Crescent series is named after one of the houses, like
in their universe.
They live in Midgard, which is Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one, Sarah.
Yeah. Well, and it's very real. It's magical realism. Like,
right.
They have
like a city. Like
Declan is one of the most impactful characters, and he works with a laptop.
Yes.
While Bryce is running around with some powerful swords.
Yes.
Like it's wildly intermixed.
Urban fantasy-ish.
Yeah, with technology and all that stuff. But House and Shadow and Fire is the house that does, I think, witches and vampires. And so people are freaking out because they think it's going to be Reese and Aelin because of Shadow and Fire. Anyways, I'm not sure she'll pull Aelin in that fast, but we'll see. Anyways, back to Crown of Midnight. Why is it called Crown of Midnight?
We still didn't unpack that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just because she's sneaking around all night.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know? They're like, when do you sleep? Because she's always down in the tunnels, or she's always like...
She doesn't.
Spying on people.
Yeah. We get a little...
all night long.
Get a little bit more emphasis on the black rings. We definitely see that that's a pattern. What does that do?
Yeah.
The obsidian tower, this magical, monstrous creature that has literally been locked in a... That I don't you just forgot that there was a living man creature in the obsidian clock tower that's just roaming around, King.
Yeah. Well, he thought it was locked away to die, King. I guess.
Right.
But, yeah. I don't know. And now she has a spell that can open any door.
And lock it.
And lock.
Yep. And it's really powerful, and it like works on anything. But
also,
it's, like,
we're using
really
our
easy
veins as ink now. We're just, we have to cutting ourselves open and write in.
Really hate that. I hate how often the answer to a promise is a blood oath.
Yeah, why are we cutting ourselves so much?
Because your palms don't heal very quickly, and you need your hands for everything.
Yeah.
So
that's
Hannah,
Matt's biggest pet peeve is when they do
blood
the
oaths.
Grab the blade and pull it out.
Yeah.
He's always like, that's the worst place to cut yourself.
Yeah,
He's like, back of the hand, back of the arm. He's like, don't cut your palm. That's going to take forever.
That's why I don't get it. Like, it doesn't have to be that kind of blood oath. You can do like elbow to like a COVID blood oath, elbow to elbow.
Like a COVID blood oath.
You know what I mean?
I just think.
Like, how everybody
do the British thing where you wrap a string around each other's hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anything other than, or like,
maybe if magic was back and you guys could heal yourselves perfectly, like, when you're in your Fae form, then that's fine. But magic is not back yet, and you're still just cutting yourself open all the time.
Yeah, I take issue with the blood oath because of the palm cutting. It just doesn't compute.
It's low hanging fruit.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to put a lot of thought. It's really easy drama. This is black magic because I got to use blood to write the symbols.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. True that.
I mean, all right.
Why can't it be spit?
I agree. I mean, spit is disgusting, but also, like, if you spit on your hand and then...
Yeah. No, I was thinking about, like, drawing with symbols.
Yeah. So gross.
Like, get a Q-tip. Hang on. Gross. Got a couple just sitting in your cheek. Hang on, let me just...
So gross. Yeah, well, I thought we'd have a lot more to talk about, and here we are.
I don't know why. We're still in the first chapter.
Yep.
So I distracted you guys with my venomance over the Crown of Midnight.
It's okay.
No, it's good. It's all good.
It is all
good. We
good.
need to hear the other side.
And we're excited about, you guys are excited about the new Crescent City book. So that's distracting.
Yeah, I am really excited about it.
I'll be real mad if the next Court of Thorns and Roses book is not an Asriel book.
I need some as.
I think that is, that doesn't come out till 2007.
That's gone though. We've already passed 2007.
I mean 27, 25. No, I've seen a date for a Court of Thorns and Roses 6. Okay, stop laughing at me.
But she has shit on Asriel for $5.
But that's the thing. It'll be fine. We're going to get an ass book.
500 years. More let him carry a torch for her for 500 fucking years.
Yeah, that was a lot. More was a lot. Why was she so scared to come out?
I don't know.
For
You're in the freaking Rainbow City.
years.
That's what, I mean, I kind of get it.
She's like, oh, I didn't want to make him mad. Well, you let him wait for you.
So I think there's more to that, and I don't think he's as dumb as we think we are. I think we're misreading his.
No, I don't think he's dumb for this. I'm totally mad at Moore for this.
But I think we're going to learn more about that.
Because
More about more.
Yeah, more again. Maybe it's
The more again.
about why
The
for
more again.
500 years she just couldn't say, Asriel, I love you as a friend, but I'm a lesbian and I'm never going to love you like that.
Yeah, it's not that hard on
But
me.
I just did
she
it.
can trust him.
I know.
It took 10
You
seconds.
just did it.
I just
But what
did
is she so
it.
scared of? I mean, she did get split open when she lost her V
Listen,
to Cassian.
At this point, they've all been eviscerated at least once. I think
Shredded.
I think the only character, Cassian had his entrails hanging out.
Shredded to ribbons several
Shredded
times.
to-
Yeah, the only person who hasn't maybe is Elaine, and that's about it.
That's because she gardens and bakes.
She
she
gets
isn't-
kidnaps one time.
But she does do
Does
bad
get
bitch
kidnapped.
stuff. I mean, she does.
she just doesn't want
Stab
to. I respect
Hybern.
Elaine's like, look, y'all are fine. You have all these superpowers. You want to change the world. I'm going to change the world by just being really nice. And
I really can't wait to get her POV though. I want to get inside her head. And Asriel's. I think we'll get what if Crescent City 3 is got a lot of Asriel's POV since he played such an essential role in that moment.
that would
Yeah.
make more sense
And
with the shadows.
and he carries Truth Seeker.
True.
Doesn't it say truth on it?
It doesn't. Not in this book. It's not that overt.
You know what makes me sad about Elaine is I don't like the idea that you can mate with someone one-sided. So you have Lorcan,
Right.
who like
Lucian.
Lucian.
Lorcan is in this book.
Okay.
With
Yeah.
the lead.
Wrong series.
Yeah, get it to fucking gather,
Lorcan,
Hannah.
the lead. Lucian, Elaine.
Yeah.
Lucian.
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 Yeah.
You know, that's not fair. How can
Well,
how can one person
Rachel
Her
has
mate
had
system
some-
is super problematic.
She's had some really good points about this. Why don't you go over that again with us?
okay.
Do you remember what you said?
I did. I do remember what I said. So the way she set up the mate system in A Court of Thorns and Roses is it's the best possible outcome for offspring. So it's always driven by whether or not you're going to be producing the next best generation of Fae or whatever.
Which is why
Yes.
Rhysand's parents.
Right.
Which is
hooked
why
up.
you don't always like them. Which means if you are not cisgendered heterosexual, you will never be with your mate
Yeah.
Which is fucked up.
because you cannot produce offspring.
And it's honestly
Right.
a plot hole because she doesn't write her worlds to not be inclusive.
right.
Right.
So
I mean, her intention is, you know what I mean? Like, she tends to try to be inclusive.
yeah. So you will always only mate with, if you're female, you'll only ever mate with a male. And if you're male, you'll only ever mate with a female. So she has to set it up so that
Yeah.
you don't have to be with your mate because otherwise she can only have heterosexual couples in this book, in that whole book series. And
yeah,
it
that's
just,
not going to work.
yeah. Which is,
Oh my God, there's a theory that Tamlin and Amarantha were mated.
Ew.
well, that would explain why she was
Obsessed with him.
obsessed with him.
And why
Because
he-
otherwise, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
otherwise
but what were
why?
we fighting so hard for?
I don't know. That's why people said that. I was like, oh, I love that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Like, can you imagine if Tamlin was fighting his mate? Like, he was fighting
Yes.
his
like your mate
connection.
was evil.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I do
she
like
has
that.
she has to have it.
I wouldn't.
It has to be problematic.
Wouldn't
in her
mind a
series.
tampon redemption arc.
Did you say tampon?
Oh, was it Tamlin?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or
Did
was
that
that, did I
slip?
say that
I know. I
incorrectly?
saw somebody was like, "Look, let's have the discussion. Does Tamlin deserve a redemption arc?"
I think so.
Everybody does.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Amarantha doesn't.
Amarantha doesn't. She's dead. So.
Hyper-negative.
Well, that's because she writes her villains extremely just evil. They're just evil.
Yeah.
And Tamlin's one of the ones that we're supposed to see as villainous, but we didn't see him as
and
villainous
a lot of us
beginning.
did like Tamlin a lot in our first book reading. Rachel saw through it, but I did not. My girlfriend Jennifer, who's just reading it, she loves Tamlin. She doesn't even know. She started Mist and Fury today, and I was like, how far are you in?
You're like, when can we talk about it?
When you get to chapter 16, can you please text me? Because that's right after she meets the inner court. And, like, that's my favorite chapter when they go to dinner.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting around and Cassian just, like, talks about how they all met. I love that chapter so much. But she goes, I just read some smut. And I was like, with Tamlin? And I was like, oh, yeah, hot Tam? Like, trying to not spoil it for her. Trying to not, because she hasn't looked at any of the fan art. So she's not spoiled it for herself.
Yeah.
You really can't look at fan art. No. And you can't.
Yeah. See, when I was reading it for the first time, my sister had already read it, so she would ask me at what point I was in the book, and she would send me appropriate fan art for the moment I was in.
Right.
So unless you have someone that's willing to do that for you, then just forget it. Don't look at Eddie.
Yeah.
Well, I read all of Throne of Glass before Akutar.
Same.
So I knew that I was supposed to be looking for a winged man because of that crossover in the last book.
Yes.
So that's she spoiled that book for me because I was like, Tamlin doesn't have wings; he's a beast with horns.
I want to know. There's more. Beastie. There's more to Tamlin. Like I want there to be more to Tamlin.
Me too. I want Tamlin to experience a mating bond so that he has this like emotional arc where he's like, oh my God, I was a douchebag.
I only want him to just so that he'll feel bad.
Like, I want him to recognize what it means. I want him to understand that genuine connection. So that he can come reach this next level of emotional intelligence and apologize.
Yeah, well, if we let him stew.
Or save the day.
Like, if we continue to let him stew so long that, like, at this point, he has become the weakest link in what they're trying to do. And if they don't give him a redemption arc, if they just let him be evil because of what Feyre did to him, Feyre becomes villainous because she went
all heroes in time become villains if you live forever.
Well, she was so scorched earth with Tamlin that she didn't leave anything for him to cling to. And she has literally created this hole that now they don't know how to fill.
Mm-hmm. To fill it with some water wolves.
With it, because he's given up on everything. He's just like, he doesn't change out of his beast form. He's dismissed.
Beastie
court.
Tamlin.
He did show up and like try to slut shame her.
Yeah.
Which was not real helpful.
Funny. that whole the High Lord meeting. Oh my God, that's the funniest thing. Like, there's so
Tamlin.
many like memes about it. It's the most entertaining thing. I love it. It is the most entertaining thing.
It's like, thanks, Tamlin. I literally had sex in front of the entire night court the other day when she was sitting on Rhysand's lap, and she's basically. Just like, yeah. So
for sure,
nice try.
Yeah, like no one cares. That's not even cool anymore.
No.
What is it, 2010, Tamlin? No, it's not. Okay? It's 2023.
2007?
Is it 2007? Yeah.
When your book comes out?
Yeah. But, yeah.
We'll find out.
I guess he's got to have something. I
would love, mean, and I don't think we're going to get Azriel and Elaine. It's too, like...
It's too perfect. You can't pair each of them up. You can't pair each sister up with one of the guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
What if his mate is in... I want them to have, like, cross-universe mates.
Okay. So, in that case, I put Elaine with Kale.
Kale's married.
Don't care.
Okay, you can't.
But they're not mates in that universe.
No, you can't. You can't do that.
Fine.
Try again. What about
Everyone's already coupled up. There's no
that's not
single
true.
men.
What? The Little Merman. You could do the merman.
Yes, we
Are
do
we
have
doing
a
the
merman.
merman?
Thalian?
Yes.
Filio?
Does he even have the proper equipment?
Oh, yeah. He is a man. He's a man and a mermaid. He has to
Oh,
actually dip himself in water every day, so that he can
he can leave the water
for a
He's
certain amount
man-made.
of time.
Okay.
And if he stays out,
Like-
and actually the way that
Like
that
in
lasts,
Splash.
correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Splash.
100%. Okay. So, and the way that book actually ends up, we don't know if he made it to the water.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can he just pour a glass of water on himself?
No. It has to be the magical water of the river or
Oh.
the seas.
Yeah.
Oh.
It has to be magically.
So you can't just be like
It has to be imbued with magic. Is that all right? Can I use that word like that?
imbued with magic.
Yeah. Does that work?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Sometimes I just take chances.
it's fine.
Opening.
It felt right.
Get messy.
Hoping.
Take chances.
Hoping
No.
that that it will work out grammatically.
It's fine.
It's fine.
The only miss this time so far is it's not 2007.
Nope.
So you're good to
Yeah.
go.
You're doing really well.
I was doing okay. Yeah, Elaine on her own. She was promised to a prince, right? She grew up thinking she had to be a princess, so she's always acted like that. Let her not mate with anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she still loves her mortal man that gave her the iron ring.
Yeah. So
I posted a story the other day. It was a clip. Did you see that one?
No, let me look.
Oh,
Maybe.
it was a story. I don't know if it's still up there, but it was like Elaine and Nesta and Feyre's talking to them, and they're like, "We almost died. We got dipped in the cauldron." She's like, "But did you die?" They're like, "Well, it was a really hard day." She's like, "But did you die though?"
Can you send it to me?
I'll have to find it again.
Okay, can you
You're
just
fine.
But did you die?
This says did you die?
Oh, it was from the Feyre.
Oh,
They get dipped in the cauldron, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, we're
They're all
immortal, and we're
traumatized.
powerful and traumatized."
She's
now."
like, but did you die?
But did you die though?
Did you?
Because I've died. Did you die?
Like I died.
Literally.
Like I heard my back break.
yeah.
And then my body, my soul left my body and floated over me.
and I saw myself from above,
Died. Dead.
Yeah.
dead. My soul was floating in the
Yeah.
universe.
And then
I was in Rasan's head for
and
a
then
little while.
Reason
Recent.
pulled me back.
Oh, recent.
Okay.
So-
It's 9:30.
Oh, we gotta go. This is great. So we're gonna read Air of Fire. We're gonna get back together in 2 weeks. We're
Yeah.
gonna read Air of Fire.
We're gonna try.
Follow us on Instagram. Rachel is a fucking trend setter.
Instagram
Content
tells
you've
me
never
that.
seen before.
Every time I post a reel, I get the trendsetter badge.
I know.
I'm like, why?
Because it's not like anything else on the internet.
What did I do?
Your algorithm doesn't recognize it as something they've already seen. It's a wonderful thing.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So we're gonna oh, that's really
We're
cool.
going to book 3.
We're going to book 3. Hopefully Rachel will emotionally connect with some of these characters so that the next 16 weeks aren't really challenging. And we don't have to fight every time we're on the podcast about how much I love it and how much
Discuss.
she hates
We had
it.
a discourse.
And
Yeah,
I have to
that's
sit
true.
We
between
had
you
a
guys
civil
crying.
discourse.
Yeah.
Please, guys, don't fight about it. It's
I'm
fine.
not fighting. Look how cool this is in the right here. That's so neat.
Civil discourse. That's what it was.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I just want to make sure that all parties are represented.
I think it did good.
Yeah,
It did good.
you guys
Yeah.
do great. You do wonderful.
Well, I hope we keep listening, and we'll see you next time, guys.
You can follow us, Rachel. You can follow my producer, Rachel.
Oh, Instagram.
on-
That's Strange and Beautiful
No,
Book
well,
Club.
the Patreon.
And Patreon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out some Patreon only content. I haven't sorted that out yet. But once I do, all 4 Patreons will
This
be
could
getting
be
some pretty sweet
Patreon
stuff.
only content. Cake chewing nerds. ASMR.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good night.
Bye.
Is it hot in here or is it just me tuning in to hear these 3 chatting about fantasy? spicy variety. Not your average book club, if you know what I mean. Are you happy to see us? Or is that a dagger? It's feast, sheath, shatter. It's feast, sheath, shatter.
I won't do it. I was like, do you think I could eat the nerd clusters without?
The loudest candy on earth?
Wait,
No.
I want to see. You tell your story. I won't do it until you're done talking.
Well, I'll wait till you're done crinkling the bag.
Okay. You think it'll pick it up?
I don't know. Just turn your head and chew. Oh, yeah, definitely.